On today's episode of Days of Our Lives, John and Steve follow a lead, Kate battles Megan for her freedom, and Kayla and Marlena attempt their daring escape. When we enter the Demera hidden lab, Kate, Kayla, and Marlena are once more dozing off in their stasis pods in an undisclosed location. It's time for them to wake up once more. Megan snarls into the room and proclaims, "We have a lot of work to do." As Kayla and Marlena awaken, Kate is disappeared, having been chained and gagged to a chair in a different room with Megan. Phase 2 is going to start at last. Kate is insistent on knowing what's happening. After Megan takes the joke out, Megan, however, explains to her hostage that she should likely simply try her best not to irritate her. Phase 2 participation by Kate is a requirement. She and the other women are merely playing pieces in a game they are unaware of. After that, Megan parades the orchid. The flower can treat much more than just that one poison, as she discovered when she used it to counteract Orpheus poisoning and save their lives. I had to take care of both my personal needs and those of someone close to me. Kate admits to Megan that she doesn't look her best. She might still be ill. Megan informs Kate, who keeps making fun of her, that she's going to use Kate as a test subject for her new serum in case it's, effective deadly. Returning in the pod room, Kayla speculates about whether Kate fled to protect herself, but Marlena is skeptical and speculates about whether Kate was a part of Megan's enigmatic plan. As soon as she sees the curtain in the back, she pulls it open to see. Bo's pod is empty. The pod is a lot older than theirs, according to Marlena, who first admits she is not an expert. They then recall the prism and speculate as to who might have been in the tube Megan was attempting to revive. Kayla sighs, "Oh God, I guess I know." Doubtful. Kayla makes the assumption that it's Stefano, but realizes that he would be a hollow shell because his soul was contained in a microchip that burnt. Therefore, it couldn't be him. Sure. It doesn't really matter. They need to start thinking strategically about leaving because Megan has Kate. Uncle Steve pays Andrew a visit at the ISA headquarters in Washington. "DC, please don't take this the wrong way, but what the hell are you doing here?" For assistance in locating Megan. She isn't his case. Andrew explains Steve, but he can offer him the agent in charge. Steve came in person to talk to him since he felt like he was giving him the runaround. When Andrew informs Steve that John and he lack clearance, Steve becomes irate. Screw his clearance. They've done enough dirty work for the ISA. There is then fear that you and John may have been compromised, says Andrew. After all, they were brainwashed. How can the ISA be certain that they aren't still? Anyone can't be certain when the Demeras are involved, right? But Andrew doesn't think so. As long as Andrew follows business policy, that doesn't appease Steve, and he tries to leave with an irate attitude. "Hello to your dad for me," she said. Andrew opens the Megan file before jokingly promising to get Steve a cup of coffee. Paul is doing weights when John, who is off in San Francisco, knocks on his door. Naturally, the two hug without saying a word. Paul asks his father how he's doing now that Marlena has left, and John apologizes for showing there unexpectedly. At the funeral, Paul says he hoped he could have stayed in Salem, but he had to return to his coaching position. Paul becomes irate when John tells him about Megan and how he hopes Andrew can assist in finding her. They are no longer conversing with one another. John asks if there was heat, and then scolds Paul for not trying hard enough to make it work. Whether it was long distance or not, with someone who could truly make you happy. He seems to be taking it personally, which he acknowledges and expresses regret for after nearly chewing off his son's skull. Paul volunteers to go with Steve when he calls to share the Megan update. He can see that it's hazardous and that John needs assistance. "No," I replied. "Steve and I must handle this on our own." John apologizes once more, but Paul understands now that Marlena is gone. Paul asks John to let him know he's all right as they say goodbye. In the meantime, Roman is visiting Lucas in jail from Salem. He explains Megan Hathaway to his stepson, but Lucas is unaware of her. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Daily Bulletin News, and stay with us.